last year. Though originally built as a residential palace, and sacrifices that Prempeh I endured with those around him, divisional and sub-divisional chiefs, courtiers, some of whom lost their lives in Kumasi and across the Indian Ocean and the Seychelles Islands. A very emotional journey to the coast with hundreds of Asantes who said they would not let him travel alone to exile. This exhibition, the first since the museum was established nearly 30 years ago, is part of the terms of negotiations with the British Museum and the Victoria and Albert Museum. I'm therefore very happy to see Dr. Chris Gosden and Dr. Tristram Hunt, who promised they would come when all had been cleared and the objects are home with us. I'm so happy to hear the MOU signed with the British Museum partly, a visiting curatorship of the negotiation issues, Professor RtvGhana of Ghana, and Ivo Ajman, a history of Manhyia Palace Museum has been launched in additional but specific literature of museology in Asante in the last 200 years. We all accept from different ethnic groups, nationalities, and beliefs. The reactions of these objects we came home were ample evidence of this. But we must also realize that cultural changes and bereavement are part of human nature, and to that extent, contemporary artistic creations cannot escape from these human preferences. Sometimes, previously, many art historians discarded the idea of African art, yet the black race came with its own forms, whether from Southern Africa or the eastern side of the continent. That denial was not surprising under implantations of external cultures. What was also not surprising was again the denial that art markets and auction houses existed in parts of Africa, including Asante in the 1800s. If these have been proved wrong with research and scholarship, including art histories of the continent now taught in universities, home and abroad, there's a current challenge we all also need to look at. Most of the returned objects in this exhibition were made by Asante royal artisans, or the group we call Otumfuo, who still practice their trade and have been doing so since Asante was founded. Many are resident artists. Now the world is an open determining many of the choices we make and the things we buy. If there's freedom from royal artisans to be liberal from palace impositions and participation to participate in the open markets, it brings some personal wealth or income for families and should absolutely be encouraged. There is a reverse side that could be worrying. Many galleries springing up in many of their products are sadly not in African galleries for sale and are easily bought by non-African within contemporary artists. In some of the exhibition, objects were taken forcibly at war and some brought from Africa today are at the dig. These are art treasures, are precious objects that will be worth millions in the future. Will many Africans have to travel to see these in future? I asked the Manhyia Palace Museum to design a project to support traditional art in Ghana. We'll be collaborating with the KNUST College of Art and some of our partners, including the British Museum, the Victoria and Albert Museum, the British Airways, and IAG Cargo to support this. In 10 years from 2025, it will institute 3 prizes a year in traditional fine arts. The works of major finalists will not only be purchased for the upcoming Contemporary Court Art Museum, so we can help retain some of the creative art products in this country. When I next travel to England in the coming months, I'm told it's in July, I'll be meeting some of these Ghanaian artists, painters, goldsmiths, and see how we can collectively, working with some of the royal or traditional art groups, do this. When the modalities are set up, we will also work with private galleries in the country to at least retain some of the productions. It is not always that we have to solicit for things we can strive and do for ourselves. I hope that over the days and the months ahead, you'll find comfort and be inspired by some of the creativities of our forebears. The exhibition that we are witnessing today has been through negotiations from my predecessors. Prempeh the First, when he returned, requested for these artifacts to be brought back. Prempeh the Second, my uncle, also brought that idea in 1948. My brother Otumfuo also came up with this idea again, and then I come here now standing in front of you to also negotiate. Then in May, when I traveled, I brought the matter up again with the British Museum, and through that meeting, here we are with all these items being returned to us. We thank them very much. It is not the end. I know we still have so much to do, but this is the first phase of it. And the agreement is for us to keep it for 3 years and then renew it for another 3 years. Interestingly, people were arguing that, but these things are for us, so why are they loaning it to us? Unfortunately, there's a law in Britain, they believed in us, and that we went in for negotiations and were able to convince them that we would display that for our people to also see it. The items that came back, virtually the soul of the people of Ashanti. We are displaying this for you to see that the items that were stolen, looted in 1874, not all of them has returned, but that what we have here still embodies the soul of Ashanti. And I believe within the period that they are being displayed here, you make an effort, everybody, to come and visit, to see it yourselves, to believe that yes, we have this, yes, these were created by our own artisans. Yes, we ask ourselves, are we able to do that in this modern day? In those days, in 1874 and early on, if we had artisans who have not been to universities being able to create this, why can't we do this now? So that is also a challenge to our students, that's a challenge to our young people and all that, to be able to be creative enough to be able to design these arts. So the spirit is back here, and then everybody should please visit. The Otumfuo sword is there, the Njimcha is there, everything up there are all being displayed for you to see that yes, as we said, when they ransacked here, yes, it was true. Yes, they are still keeping our artifacts, but we also are happy that they agreed to return some of these to us for display for our people to see it. So thank you. Let us accept that today is a day for Ashanti, it's a day for the Black African continent, that the spirit that we bore and share is back with us again today. Thank you very much.